Hey, everybody. I'm Jane. And she's Sarah. She's not here this second, but don't worry. Don't worry. Sarah is part of the conversation, and she'll be here in just a sec. And you're listening to the Medium Curious podcast, the show that wants you to know when the going gets strange, the strange keeps talking. And you'll understand what that means in a second. We had such an extraordinary and mind-bending conversation with our guest this week, who is Zaneta, the podcast host of Art Witch. They are an interdisciplinary sound artist and spirit medium whose work addresses climate care from the sacred, internal, and local experience. We get to hear all about their work and their perspective. That is so gorgeous, y'all. I can't wait for you to hear it. And I wanted to add too that this week, I did not do much editing because the experience is literally explosive. We lost a computer. A computer went down. But rather than edit that all out, I thought it would be more fun, or Sarah and I thought it would be more fun for y'all just to hear the whole thing. So sit tight, get grounded, enjoy. Please meet the most extraordinary person, Zaneta.
Hey, Zaneta. We're so happy to have you with us today. Your smiley face popped on the screen and I immediately was like, yes!
You literally squealed, like Sarah squealed.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you both, Sarah and Jane.
Well, I feel like there's like two people that we've had that are connected to you. I first listened to Mary Greasy on your podcast, The Art Witch, before we had her on our podcast. And we just love Mary so much. So big shout out to Mary.
And your podcast, which we also love so much.
Which we want to talk about.
Yes.
And then your partner, Chris Dingman, who we had on, who is just... I need everybody to go and listen to that one because what is he? He's just magic.
He's one of the sweetest beings I have ever encountered.
Yeah.
Oh, perfectly said.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So will you tell us, Zaneta, a little bit about yourself, what you do, your podcast, and...
Yeah. I am a interdisciplinary sound artist. So I record a lot of nature sounds in my work. And I'm also a spirit medium. So that is a really big part of the process of figuring out where to record and what projects to collaborate with spirits of place on. So, I've been doing nature field recording for somewhere upwards of like 15. No, actually now it's 18 years.
Wow.
So, it's been a while. It's been a really long and interesting journey. But I got into that through music, and being a percussionist. So there's a lot of threads in there.
There's a lot of threads. I feel kind of like, having followed you a little bit, that you're the all around artist. There's so many things that you explore and dabble in, and you kind of allow, this is just my perception of you, that you will give yourself the freedom to go where your interest takes you. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. And I would say that that's also kind of a cultural background phenomenon too, because, in the Philippines, we have, what we call babaylan, or we have healot practitioners, so people who do healing, and they often combine a lot of modalities. And I kind of was just hardwired that way too. Like as a young person, I just couldn't decide on one singular thing ever. And I loved everything with the equal measure of devotion. So I think really a lot has been in just embracing that multimodal experience, being multiracial, being multicultural, like all of it. And just saying, I don't know if you experience this as mediums, but like it is the blending, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Chills already.
That's so the word that Sarah uses. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I feel that with the clairs even, and all of that jazz, that it doesn't have to be so segmented. just that you're down to track it and describe it in specificity and give yourself the spaciousness to explore that as it wants to be explored.
Oh, so good.
Wow. Yes. I have to say, I have like tears like bouncing to my eyes ever since you came on the screen. I'm just having this like very visceral reaction to your presence. It's really beautiful.
I know. Yeah, that's so beautiful. And I would love that for myself. I'd love to be able to gift that to myself, the freedom to allow myself that, where my desire takes me and my interests lead me. And I want that for everybody, not to have to, because I think we are so narrowly focused on, here's your one thing. Here's your one thing. This is what you have to focus on and develop. And I think so much gets lost in that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's really hard to hear guidance when you think you have to adhere to a certain way of things looking or being presented or meeting a certain expectation, even within, such a diverse practice as mediumship. Like, it's going to look so different for each person at every moment and in every relationship, which is how I like to think of it. Like we are exploring the relationship that we have to non-human beings, the more than human world. And so like, I don't treat being in a relationship with one friend versus another friend all the same way all the time. And I think that just kind of highlights how diverse our gifts and our senses can really be.
Mm-hmm. Do you know that you speak in pictures? That's just my experience of you. Like I just keep getting these incredible pictures that as you speak, like it's kind of a trip, and I'm sober, so this is really fun, Zaneta. I just want to say, I hope it's happening for some listeners too, because it's so beautiful. But words not so much today, but I'm just here for it. Like, thank you for how you described our craft. I think you elevated it up about 20 floors. Like, I love how you just described what we do.
I love hearing that you called it speaking in pictures. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, this was something that I was taught, that some people project pictures when they speak. And so those of us who are more picture oriented will see them. So, that's just in.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I think that speaks to your talent, Zaneta, because you are a musician. I've heard you talk about you were all ready to go to university to major in something else, and you heard a voice say, go to music school. Is that right?
Yeah. So I had quit music actually around middle school. Unfortunately, I went through a kind of an intense time of bullying. It was a time when, it just wasn't as common to have, female drummers, and it was a very kind of conservative environment and community. And I just kind of had it. I was like, I'm tired. And I quit and then kind of focused more on science. And I come from a family that has kind of both of those influences really strongly embedded. So I was going along happily in my, studying environmental science and really focusing on that and doing competitive science experiences. And I ended up just dating someone who was in music school. And I was like, oh, great, wonderful, cool. And I remember being at this jam session that they were playing at, and I heard a literal voice. And externally, so I break down clairaudience into internal, middle ear, and external ear. So I think of like the different kinds of psychic mediumship phenomena that might like kind of be unpacked within just hearing alone. And I heard it externally, like as if someone was out in the room talking to me. And it was a totally different timbre of voice, didn't sound anything like anyone there, didn't sound like myself. And they said, go to music school. And I, at the time, wasn't really very into psychic or mediumship work or practice or study. So I ended up kind of just letting that kind of go to the side for a bit, just like, I don't know, a couple of weeks, but it wouldn't shake. And that is, I think, a really a telltale sign of like something that's like a claircognizant experience too. Like you can't really shake that fruit. So it stuck with me, and that's how I ended up making that decision. And it was such a radical departure from being accepted for environmental science. And like, you know, I was really supposed to go that path and then ended up going clear the other direction.
From clear guidance.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for breaking down that middle. How do you say it? Inner, middle, and exterior, like outer ear?
Yeah. So like there's like a clairaudient experience that I associate with almost sounding like your own internal voice.
Yeah.
And that's like inner ear to me. And then there's kind of like a middle ear experience that almost sounds like what you experience when you're composing and you're improvising. Mm-hmm. And then there's like external, which to me is where you would hear something that sounds like it's in the room with you as an external sound source.
Yeah. I call that the voice of God. I've had it a few times, but because it's loud, like it felt loud to me. Like I was like, ugh.
It's only happened to me once and it was loud, but unmistakable. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, and whatever, I've gotten 3 really loud directions that way and I follow. I'm like, cool, copy that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So good for you for wow. And then how cool. And I know we're about to get there, but like, there's like a full circle quality to this story.
Yeah. I'm like trying to omnidirectionally navigate what you mean by that. Could you?
Well, I'm just looking at your beautiful projects and I feel like we're jumping ahead because we're in your story, but environmental science comes back in is what I want to say. So yeah, I know we can get there. But
I thought you were talking about her meeting Chris.
Oh.
That is true. I met Chris in a food court at music school.
Oh man, I hope there was fried foods involved.
There was stir fry.
Yeah.
I do think Chris was part of that guidance for sure. Like he is, we've changed so much as a couple. You know, we've been together like 20 years.
Wow.
Like as of next year, we will have been together for 20 years. And neither one of us were into, you know, any kind of modality that would be considered spiritual or anything like that at the time that we met each other. But we've kind of co-evolved, and not necessarily by trying to get the other one into what, you know, we're into, but it just naturally kind of happened. So yeah, I was really lucky.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Oh my God, we might have to bring some of Chris's music in here just so you can feel him under. He's now in the room. You just brought Chris in the room.
It's true. It's true. And I think when you hear him, it makes even more sense.
Yeah. But that's, I think, the first time I've ever heard of that. Like being a couple, meeting, you know, and like, that's kind of an intense environment, right? Like, was it a conservatory kind of? Yeah,
we met at USC. I was in my first year of the classical percussion program, and he was at the Monk Institute doing his master's, which is a very competitive and very intense immersive program. So we were both kind of, you know, dealing with the throes of institutional adjustment. Yeah.
I can understand having gone to a conservatory, and I totally get it.
Yeah,
like
you cling on to who you need.
life rafts as humans.
Exactly.
And then to go through a whole spiritual evolvement that was complementary. Like, I think a lot of couples, that's part of where the story ends, is like the spiritual path isn't necessarily complementary. So and also like quite heightened. Like, you're both mediums, essentially. You're both channeling, you're both engaging in the spirit world in a really, I won't say similar ways, because I don't think that's for me to say, but in ways that are, a little bit outside of, quote, the norm. So it's extraordinary in my mind. So how cool, how lucky.
Yeah, it's really beautiful to like be able to share dreams and share experiences and have someone who really understands what you're experiencing, but also isn't trying to teach you, it's a different kind of relationship. This is so different. There's no transaction involved, but there's just like so much care. So we share all sorts of kind of stories about like, okay, what happened to you today? Whoa.
So good.
So yeah, I mean, we had that in music, but it was never quite the same when you're doing stuff of this, deeply, deeply loving and healing collective work. It's not the same. Yeah.
Sarah, can we talk about? Oh no, go ahead. I'm like looking to you.
About what?
I'm just so excited about the project.
I know. Okay, so will you describe to us what the project is and how it came about?
Yeah. So the project is called Invitations from the Land, the Xena High Woods, and it came about. Well, I should back up just a little bit and say that I was doing psychic tarot reading for many years prior to this.
We always feel like that's the gateway.
Totally. And it's still a beloved way. I still love the tarot so deeply and find the framework of the tarot to just make sense. But yeah, it was about, 2024. I had went on a community nature walk. So this was, I knew I had to go to this walk. So this is the beginning, right? Like you have a knowing or a feeling or something, an intuitive sense of pull. And I knew I had to go to this community nature walk. I saw, Molly Adams, Chris Baker, and Zoe Keller. They're some of my favorite kind of local ecology workers. Like Molly is, she wrote the book Birding for a Better World and kind of, I think, formed the Feminist Bird Club, which is like has chapters all around the United States. Zoe is a really well-known nature illustrator, and Chris owns like a wonderful naturalist shop in Kingston, New York. So these people are people I had followed and really appreciated their work for a while. And they were coming together to lead this nature walk in the Israel Whitman Sanctuary, which is the small nature preserve around Woodstock, Kingston area. So I went to that in, I think it was either April or May of 2024. And I left that walk with my mind totally blown. I was so impressed and just looking at all the fungi and like geeking out over caterpillars. And normally my work doesn't go so micro. I tend to like capture, the whole sound of a forest or like a whole dawn chorus or something. So it's a very large work. And I just knew I kind of had to come back. The place felt quiet in a way that is not common in New York. And I started camping in the area, and I do a lot of solo camping usually. And I came back in, I think it was maybe the beginning of June 2024. And I just came with the intention to listen and to connect and see what that connection would open up, right? A little bit like mediumship.
Yeah.
though I did not know that at the time. So I went back and I was there. I was in the woods. I was by myself, and I just started to kind of feel this, I don't know, it's a very hard feeling to describe, but just a certain quiet magic and a presence. I was feeling presence a lot, and that's been happening for many years for me. And I just never identified that as a form of mediumship or anything like that. So I was feeling a strong sense of presence and watchfulness as I was there. And I typically like to sing to places as an offering. That's something that's culturally part of what people do in the Philippines. So I spent a lot of time singing to this place, and I did this over many sessions over months. And eventually I felt the stirring within me to record.
I'm having my own experience over here as you're talking about this.
We'll see Sarah in a little while.
I love that we're together in this. Yeah. We're walking the
sweating.
Forest.
It's so good.
So I get this strong feeling to record, and that this something wants to happen here together. And I don't know exactly when this happens, but eventually I connect back with Zoe Keller, the illustrator, and she had posted something. Oh no, that's right. Sorry, I have to go back a little bit because I never get to tell this part of the story, but because I'm with mediums, I get to tell it.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Okay. So around the autumn equinox, I think it was actually September 19th last year, I had this thought that floated into my mind. I was like, I wonder if any of my ancestors or my relatives, in spirit, did any kind of psychic or mediumship work. And instantly a name came to me, Ella. And I was like, I don't have any relatives named Ella. I was so confused. So I looked up my grandmother's obituary, and lo and behold, she had a sister named Ellery. Wow. And I sat on my meditation cushion, and I have an ancestral altar year round and have for many years. And I sat there and I just kind of got quiet, and I said, hey, Ellery, show me something that, my Aunt Wendy would know. And my Aunt Wendy is my only relative on that side. I was like, show me something she would know. And keep in mind, I've never had a mediumship reading at this point. I had never practiced mediumship that I knew of or studied it. But I just kind of felt into the questions that wanted to come up, and I just asked them and tried it. And she showed me this big bowl of yellow pudding with a spatula and these really awesome, old horn-rimmed glasses. And I text my aunt, and I'm like, hey, I just came out of meditation. Do you remember your Aunt Ellery? And she's like, I do remember her. She was a really sweet woman. And I was like, I just came out of meditation. These things came up. Do they mean anything to you with regards to her? And she's like, yeah, she was really famous for her banana pudding. And she had a great eyeglasses collection.
Whoa.
So that began this thing, right? And I was like,
so was your mind blown? Were you just
yeah,
what is this? What did I just do here?
It was blown. But I didn't understand what I didn't think. I never thought about evidence, and it's so funny, in the psychic readings that I was doing, you get information and stuff like that. But the evidence emphasis is it's like it happens, but it's not like, okay, now I have
priority,
your dad here, or now I have, so-and-so here. So yeah, it's not quite the same orientation around proof.
Yeah.
Though proof is always part of that process because it helps people trust and release and soften into guidance. But with this situation, I was like a little out of my depth. Like, what the heck just happened? And then I got more information about kind of things that were happening in their life that I wasn't aware of. And I shared that with her and she confirmed it. And so it was like, cool. So the next day, Zoe, the illustrator, posts on Instagram, I just saw these barred owls in Israel Whitman Sanctuary. I got these photos. It's amazing. And I message her and I'm like, Zoe, where did you find them? What part of the trail? At what time? And she's like, go here, go to this part of the trail, go at this hour. You'll find them. So I'm like, cool. That night I have this wild dream where I'm hugging this giant white fox, like the size of a house. And in the dream, I can hear my sister talking schmack about me in her therapy session while I'm hugging this fox. And my brain in the dream is like, oh, if I'm hugging this fox, I can hear things I don't normally hear. So this is really important because the very next day, so I think this is now September 23rd, I go to this forest at the hours that my friend Zoe told me I would find these barred owls that I've been trying to record for many years. And I always get terrible recordings of them. And I go, I'm there for a couple hours. I'm by myself. It's like getting towards dusk. It's getting later. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not hearing anything. And I say, okay, let me try one last thing. I close my eyes. I call in this fox from this dream and I say, please help me to hear what I don't normally hear. And I open my eyes and beside me is this giant, like, eastern coyote. Yeah.
What?
This huge, like 70 plus pound, like coyote wolf, right?
Whoa.
So if, for those listeners who aren't familiar with eastern coyotes, they're hybridized coyote that has wolf DNA and coyote DNA. So they tend to be much larger than the coyotes that are just coyotes. Yeah. And that's a very distilled and oversimplified way of describing that. But we stare at each other and immediately I just start singing to this animal in a voice that I've never sang in before. Very deep, very big, and very low. And I start improvising. I could never even do it again, but it's some sort of blues. I don't understand. I'm barely registering that. And I just slowly turn around and sing and walk away. And then I walk a few paces and I turn back and the animal is gone. And I'm looking around this forest, which is pretty open. I can see a lot and I don't see it anywhere. And I'm so confused, like how fast that encounter was. And a couple people come down the trail and I asked them, did you see this animal? And they said, no. And we've never even seen an animal like that. We live next to this property. We have cameras on our property and we haven't seen that. But if you had gone further, you probably would have encountered a bear. And I was like, okay. And the adrenaline, I can't even tell you the amount of adrenaline that I had from that experience. I had no bear spray. I had nothing on me. It was just totally open. Wow. The wild part about this is that like a few days later, the Woodstock Land Conservancy, my contact there, they contacted me out of nowhere and invited me to record, teach a recording workshop. And I was like, I've been thinking about recording at this place, doing an album. And they were like, we have a radio segment in December. Would you like to premiere your album on that? And this was like the beginning of this project.
So amazing.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Just, I don't even have words for that. Cause I think, Sarah, you can probably really understand this. Like, as a musician or as a, composer, to have a science organization approach you out of nowhere and like want to collaborate or want to do this, not having a previous partnership at all before, is a little out of left field.
That's totally out of left field.
And out of the best version of the left field.
Yes.
Indeed, Jane.
Out of the good. It's true. I keep telling people that money falls out of the sky, but now I'm going to be like, opportunities fall out of the sky. Partnerships fall out of the sky. It's true.
Yeah.
They really do. The right ones. And
yeah, you can avoid the other ones. You can just take a little step to the left.
Yeah. I mean, I think what's notable for me about that was how much just feeling into that relationship and kind of feeling guidance and trying things and letting that kind of shape the evolution and collaboration. And it's been like that ever since, like just things come together and people and it's, I mean, so much of this project is about, yes, recording, this whole year of forest soundscapes on, the solstices and the equinoxes. But a lot of it is about personal connection to local wilderness. And from a spiritual framing in particular, like, that we, no matter what faith you have or, what cosmology you adhere to, you could connect and have a relationship with a place and the beings of that place and feel into how you're guided into that relationship and into that care.
I'm just, wow. I just feel like I was gifted like this, like Disney on crack, like everything you're describing. You know what I mean?
Nice, Jane.
I can always bring something ridiculous, but I just love it so much. I'm like shaking, like it's like forest bathing times 100, like what you're describing, that relationship, that the nuance and the way that you're engaging the everything. I mean, we have another person we love so much who was just telling us that she sings to the river. We had her on our Monarch a couple weeks ago, and Sarah and I both went, what? Like you can sing to a river? So now here you come telling us that that's your plan. Like you're going to sing to the forest. And I'm just blown away because again, to our previous discussion, like all these paradigms and all this story of how it's supposed to go and how we're supposed to think and how we're supposed to act and how we're supposed to walk in this planet. You're not worried about that. Instead, you're merged with everything and everything is showing itself to you.
Yeah. And it's not, there's layers to this because I do feel into like decoloniality. I do feel into, who gets access where and when and what's privilege and all of these things. But there is at the very core of all of us, which is the soul, right? Like we are interconnected beings.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so you can navigate that interconnectedness in so many ways. And it's really fun and it's beautiful and it makes your life feel sparkly. I love Disney on crack.
It is especially sparkly without the bad soundtrack. It's so good. It's your soundtrack. It's so
And it's
good.
also, you're just such an amazing storyteller. We were hanging on every word that came out of your mouth.
Yeah.
We were in it together. I feel like you all understand the like where your feet are placing themselves and being kind of, fitted into things. It's very, very odd, but also very natural. Yeah.
I was also, So I saw something today that was like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. It was a picture of a human lung and then a picture of a tree. And then they looked almost exactly alike. Just, all the veins and the branches and how we breathe in what the trees put out and vice versa. It's because we all connected and we are one organism. We are nature. Like we are nature. And I think we forget that. And even those in spirit and our ancestors, they are part of that as well. And I think just how you experience it and you put yourself out there and drink it all in and then relay it to the rest of us is such a gift that you're giving everyone.
Oh, thanks,
it's such an amazing template. Yeah. Yeah. It's like the how to, the how to engage with, and be, I don't know, the word that comes to me when I hear you just, the word that comes to me when I hear you just, whoa, did y'all hear that echo? Please tell me I don't sound like that.
My computer's freaking out.
Okay.
I don't know what just happened.
Spirit much? Who's here? Zaneta, do you want to look? Ooh, sweating again. Yeah, that was fun. Sarah, are you still with us? Who's here?
That's a level of change that maybe doesn't normally happen.
Wow. Genuinely. That's never happened. And then that it was playing it back from like a minute, 15 seconds ago. Whoa. While we're in the in-between, I just wrote an essay about an encounter with a moose because I'm in Park City now. Mm-hmm. I was in Hawaii and now I'm in Park City.
Wow.
I know.
Talk about ecological shift.
And I went on a hike and I ran right into a moose. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be scared. I'm pretty sure I'm doing this wrong. And I telepathically chatted to her. And I said, are you cool if I walk by? Because I really didn't want to turn around. Like I knew sort of like human style, I should be backing slowly away and just get the hell out. Right. But I was like, hey. And she was like, what? She was like, yeah. I was like, hey, would it be okay if I walk by you? And she's like, yeah. She did not care. She did not care. I was like, cool, babe. I'm gonna walk on by, And then a second later, I was like, wait, I just saw a moose and I just talked to it. Can we keep the conversation going? And so then I said something else to her, you're beautiful. And she was like, cool, human. It was just the most hilarious personality. I was like, okay. She's like, seriously, I had stuff to eat. I got some little creatures to go. I don't know. It was so sweet. But now I'm going to sing.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let me preface this by saying that, one of the things I like that you brought up was in that story was not homogenizing nature, right? There is this belief that you have to do things the same way every time. And I think that when you tune in and you really are open to that relationship, there are times when you're not supposed to sing. There are times when you're not even supposed to be at a place. There are times when you're supposed to sing or when you're supposed to go and call your local representative that deals with the Parks and Rec or whatever.
Right.
There's actionable, there's specific actions that come through those connections that will guide you into greater, let's say, I want to say just care.
Right. Or symbiosis or something you're in right action because you're not expecting or demanding of the situation, something that's not there.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I love that you tuned into this moose And you
even in my spazzy way
could pick that up and you could be like, okay, it is okay to move through here. Now,
Right.
Granted, it's not generally the consensus to go and do that, but
Right.
I think that not everyone's supposed to have the same interactions all the time. So like for me, that made sense to sing to that, coyote. Wow. But it doesn't maybe make sense to someone else in that, who knows?
Right. Well, part of what's so beautiful is you were also engaging the giant fox. Like you weren't there alone.
Yeah.
The fox was in the house.
Yeah.
Right. And the fox was like, let's see who we can bring over here for you. You're looking for some wildlife. How about this guy? And you're like, cool. Not exactly, but pretty stunning. Thank you, sir. Do you know what I mean? Like you were in, I don't know. I just want to call it like a scene. Like you were in the play of that moment in the forest and you had called in help. So,
yeah.
But were you pretty nervous when it was all happening?
I mean, there was definitely some fast calculations that were happening.
Yeah.
Because it was so funny. I even had bear spray like in my car, and I was like, no, I'm going to leave it because I don't want to start this relationship this way.
Wow.
Like there was some kind of thought that occurred to me in that moment that was like, leave it. And I, up until that point, really haven't, I've recorded for many years. I really haven't encountered, like, I think I've had a rattlesnake encounter once, but that, like,
yeah,
I've never had, kind of that level of, interaction.
Yeah.
And I usually ask for support. So this is another thing, like ancestrally and stuff like that. I'm usually pretty good about being like, please help me to have, safe interactions with the beings that call this place home. Right.
Well, and you're also walking in respectfully. Most, this was something that was taught to me. There's a conversation that you have with the land and the people. And that, like, what I was taught was to ask permission.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's really sweet because I certainly did that when I came out this way. But do I do it before every hike? No. But I think what you're describing is so beautiful and so helpful. Like, how can we be in that conversation with reverence and respect, and also that request, which is, I'll ask my team, like, hey, like, cover me. Going in, and that's just honestly like my ridiculous way of doing things. But there's what I feel with you, which is killing me with its gorgeousness, is that it feels like is reverence. Do you resonate with that word? Because that's how it feels to me. Like,
yeah,
when I hear you describe
it is. It's my spiritual understanding, or my cosmology of this world, is to like interact with every being as sacred as best as possible, human or non-human, spirit or, materialized here. Either way, I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just checking in. She's saying her computer is out.
That is so wild.
It's got a huge energy surge and freaked out. Let me see if she has any other computers around. She's like, maybe you need to finish it. That's why I'm just like, we're just still rolling because this is super fun. But let me just problem solve for just a second.
Yeah, no rush.
Well, let's see if she makes it back. This is exciting.
I welcome you, Sarah.
See if you can get the fox to bring Sarah back.
I don't know. I very rarely call that fox in. Because
I bet.
There's like a level of power to that moment that I was like, okay.
I don't need that in my every day.
You have to just consider who you're connecting with. And it tells you.
Yeah. Have you by any chance ever read Hank Wesselman's books?
No.
Oh my gosh. You might dig him. He was an anthropologist who had some shamanic sort of like initiations. Yay! She's back.
That I'm going to just leave my computer so that it's not it doesn't lose it. That was crazy, you guys.
What happened?
My computer, it surged. There's like a huge energy surge. And then like it stopped working through, hold on. Everything's going on. Talk about presence.
Yeah, we were just talking about the fox again. I was wondering.
Whoa. Yeah, I mean, I've been feeling present so strongly, but that was crazy. That was like never happened. Huge energy surge. That was wild. Like it jumped off of my mic. It jumped out of my earphones. It went through the computer microphone. And then like you guys froze and then it just completely stopped working.
That's bananas.
That is bananas.
And it, like, I felt the energy. I felt the energy go whoosh.
Holy shit.
Like, totally fritzed my computer out.
I'm just thankful you're here. You survived it.
Yes.
Sarah, your resilience is nuts.
That's hilarious. So this is going to be a hard one for you to edit, Jane.
Yeah, I was just telling Zaneta about the afterlife because we kept talking and really fun stuff was coming. And I was like, oh, I'll just put this in the afterlife.
In the
maybe.
afterlife.
Yeah, or not. Or who knows? Maybe the surge stays in. I don't know.
The surge, the great surge of 2025.
That was wild. I don't know what I'm going to have to do to my computer.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, to catch you up, I have no idea what we talked about.
No, we were in a time between times. You even called it that, I think.
Time between times. Yeah, I'm glad I'm still here, Zaneta.
Yeah, that's a good note. Safe and sound. Woo. Well, actually, we could continue on that note. So I was just asking, I was kind of joking, saying maybe Zaneta could call on the fox for something. I can't even remember 2 seconds ago what I was asking. And you wisely said,
yeah, that I am cautious about who I call in when I call them in. Especially after that experience, it was such a teaching that, like I wouldn't want just anyone to be here at any moment all the time. I mean, and okay, so maybe this is something that I always think about with mediumship because I study with Willow White in Lilydale.
Oh, cool.
And I've thought a lot about, the spiritualist take on mediumship, and it's very diverse, even obviously within spiritualism. So those listening just know that you can really unpack that accordion file to a deep degree.
Couple hundred years worth.
Totally.
Yeah.
But there's spirit mediumship all around the world. And it's, since the beginning of time. Since we've been able to communicate, we have been communicating in this way and interacting in this way. So I often think about the emphasis on evidence. I think a lot about why evidence is so important in our modern experience in this society, but maybe not so important to folks in other places where they have, a Babaylan or a spirit medium or a healer or something, and they're working with people that they've known either their whole life or like that this role has been fulfilled by people who have known generations and generations back. And I think about medium as mediary, and how the function is this balance between beings and this communication and relationship tending between communities among the ecology, right? The spiritual ecology. So, I'm pretty cognizant that not every being wants to be called at every moment. Not every ancestor wants to talk through every medium. You know, I think even in my earliest moments of trying to study mediumship, I was like, I don't know. I don't really dig this one. Like, I didn't like the spirit communicator who was coming in, and I had to kind of let go of some deep bias or some deep stuff that I didn't even realize would impact a reading to that extent, you know? Right. So there's layers to it that I think it's like, not everyone is everyone's cup of tea. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Totally. Yep.
Yeah, that's partially why I feel, that's a little bit why I feel we're kind of called to bring all the mediums online, because that conversation has been really stifled, at least in our, Western society. It's been really cut off. So to your point, it's all around the world, and this is not weird at all in a ton of the cultures in this planet, but and the US one anyway, the Western, even in like Ireland and England, it's way more realized and more like accepted and delighted in. And here everyone's like, you what? So let's bring them all in, because every spirit communicator needs a medium. So we need a lot of mediums. Perhaps.
I would even say that the earth is calling people to be mediums. When I was last in the forest in a residency over the equinox, so this was to record the final recordings of this project, I was in the Catskills and I connected with these woods. And the woods shared with me that mediumship is weaving people back into their truest sense of nature. That essentially that kind of whatever that split happened in the human journey, where we began to be so scared that we needed to protect ourselves and to hoard resources or to think of ourselves as separate from other beings. That was the moment that we started to lose the ability to communicate with the natural world, with the more than human world. But it's so important to become a medium, because that is how interconnectedness actually is realized.
Yes. Yeah, we just had a pet communicator on, and I was asking her that, like, what do you think about rocks and ferns? And like, and her perspective was like, there's consciousness in everything, but the way you're describing it is so, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like so multidimensional, and it just resonates all the way through me as the truest thing I've heard in a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we're on our way back, slowly making our way back into the forest.
Yeah. It's a remembrance.
Come on back, kids. Let's go.
Exactly.
It's a remembrance. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And everyone doing it, like, I don't know, wherever that inroad is, if it's your great aunt or your grand aunt who made banana pudding.
You're like, giant bowl of yellow goo. Makes sense to you?
Like thinking about if it feels easier to start with a tree or to start with a river. And coincidentally, I do sing to the river. Chris and I sing to the river every full moon. So there is this relationship building that I think mediumship starts to open. And then you realize, like, this is a two-way street.
Yeah.
Like, there will be moments where you'll have to kind of go outside your comfort zone and expand in this relationship. Like, kind of being vulnerable when you have new love. You know, like, oh, I gotta share this part of me that I'm scared that you're gonna like run from, or, oh, maybe I have to, kind of just breathe a second before I let that triggered, that wounded part of self take the reins in this situation. Yeah, there's expansiveness. And I think that mediumship really gets you to connect. Like, that's the hallmark of this practice for me, is like, it will never just stay with you alone. It will encourage you to branch.
Yeah. A continuation of growth, of expansion in connection, because it is about connecting. Yeah.
But like you're saying, it's that conversation that you're opening up. So here's this, like, we might think, it's A to B. And for that moment, you are connecting with a particular, I don't know, point in time, or I don't know how we describe a spirit person. You're connecting, you have a link. But then to your point, as we evolve, so you're just unpacking like all these other layers. It's sort of like we're looking this way and our vision just keeps opening and opening and opening and opening, and like, oh, okay, now I have a conversation with my desk. I'm gonna, you know what I mean? Because there's consciousness in every object. And
I think what it does for me, it increases my capacity. Mediumship does. And my capacity is so limited by my physicality, my belief systems, my experiences, my ancestors, what we've all experienced, and my fear. All of those things limit my capacity. And the experience of mediumship expands what I'm able to hold as far as consciousness. And that allows people around me, gives them permission to expand their capacity as well.
That is so beautifully said. And I felt time come through so much in that moment. I just feeling like the sense of time and the spiral of time and the cycles and just like understanding ourselves beyond this moment, beyond this fragment of life that we experience. Yeah, it's really powerful. Thank you, Sarah.
Oh, thank you, Zaneta. And as I'm talking, like my phone's still wanting like this power surge. It's still doing it.
Your phone is still surging?
Like there's like, there's the capacity of my phone is not big enough.
Yeah. We're getting into some deep stuff together, and I can't have this conversation with everyone. And I really appreciate that I can do that really openly with you all, because I feel that coming full circle back to the beginning where we were talking about multimodal, arts and expression and where you're called and all your unique and diverse gifts. Like, I feel I have to kind of hold the prism and show different facets at different times to people and be like, here's this, here's this, here's this.
Yeah.
So this is really beautiful because I actually get to show the whole thing, all at once. And maybe that is just the nature of what's happening, is we're talking about a topic that really threads through it all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've kind of blown my mind. Jane. Yeah, there's some serious Disney crack here, because my mind is blown. Like I have been engaged in this craft for, I don't know, more like 10 or more years, but more full time 2 years. And what you've given me today is beyond description. Like how you've, like, I feel like you've just like, it's like I had 2 eyes and now I have about 50. I'm like, whoa. Whoa, I'm really seeing a lot here. Whoa. It's really great. And your presence is so precious. Like, you're so thoughtful and you're so warm, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to gush at you, Zaneta, but I'm overwhelmed by the beauty that you are offering the world with your projects. Like, I cannot wait to hear your project. I cannot wait. And I'm going to go sing to something later, and I'm going to report back, because I'm just like, I'm beyond, and all my questions have gone out the window, and I want to know.
I really want to know, because I feel that singing is so okay. And maybe you feel this with channeling, right? Because singing is channeling, right? That you would go and open this connection, and then it takes you somewhere, and then that just kind of spirals further and further. So I wonder what the singing will bring you to, who you'll listen to differently, how you'll connect with them, where you'll feel your heart tugging you, to get closer. Yeah.
Well, it's the great listening that I feel like you're teaching us today. It's like there's a whole different level of presence that you're offering that I'm just like slowly catching up to.
Well, I also feel like in our culture, we're so used to producing. We're so used to speeding up and getting as much accomplished that we can get done. And the act of like going to the forest, time and time again to just sing to the forest over and over and over again to develop that relationship. That's like the slow cooked stew that I'm yearning for. It's just, it's so good. It's just so good. It's what we need. It's our medicine. That's how we're going to heal ourselves.
Yeah. I love the slow relationship building. I'm a sucker for it.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for the slow burn.
Yeah. It's so good.
Oh my gosh. Well, this has been an extraordinary experience. I mean, I don't even know exactly what happened here, but I'm glad Sarah is safe.
Yes.
We've secured Sarah.
Yes. Live another day.
We're like spread across the country here. We've got New York, Utah, and California. California has been secured. The arcing we had an energy arc happening. So we're grounded and we're back. And I just, I think we need to close. I don't know time and space, but it feels like we are at least somewhat complete. We might have to have you back, amazing person.
I know.
I mean, you are just.
I'm going to have you on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
That would be amazing. Yeah. And I actually did have one question for you about your podcast because I've been listening to it and just really enjoying it. That was part of all the previews of getting to be in your presence. And that's why our listeners should run over to your podcast because getting to hang out with you has been, well, they know because they've been here for the last hour. But what I want to know, and this is just, so I'm going to reveal my bias. The word witch is tricky for me. And I was curious if you could unpack that a little bit because I love the name of your podcast. Like, even though I have my like witch problem, I love the name of your podcast because I love art. And I also feel like it does this perfect job of like kind of doing, anyway, I want to hear what you think, not what I think.
Art Witch came to me through, interestingly, my Lolo. So like I was, I think one day just kind of doing my thing and then my grandpa on my mom's side kind of came through. This is, again, before the mediumship experience. And I was like, Art Witch podcast. And it instantly kind of landed fully formed. So it was like, here are the first 3 people you're going to interview. Here's what the format's going to be. Like, I did it within a couple of days. I wrote the music. I programmed it. I recorded it. I got a microphone. I just was like, boom, 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 boom. And it was up and live. In 2 days, it will be the 5-year anniversary. So October 12th.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you can imagine, it was probably today that I started to work on it. So it was just very fast and intense and took me, by surprise. And the witch part of it has such a very strong thread to how spiritual healers and kind of matriarchs in the Philippines were persecuted. Mm-hmm. So there's a level of this for me personally that is around reclaiming a sense of power and a role in the world that is really, really sacred and important. These people are often guides or doulas or, these figures in the in-between that are willing to address the suffering of the world and have the wherewithal to do it with some kind of semblance of grounding. So to me, a witch often is someone who is wise and taps into collective wisdom, which is a big part of how I work. Is I often feel like there's a, I don't know, some people call it Akashic records. I don't identify as reading Akashic records, but I often see a book when I'm giving readings and the book is there and my guide is here and we go through and that's how things kind of come out. And so, being willing to hear, the wisdom around you is like, I think a really big part of being a witch. It would be like you would never center yourself and you would kind of be open to that. But I think here in this society, it gets really placed as, on a spectrum of morality. It gets placed in kind of, power is interconnectedness. It's knowing that there's something moving through all of us that we can be of service to. And I think the witch does that very much so.
I knew it was going to be a good answer.
Yes, so good.
So good. I have a new relationship with the word, thanks to you.
I mean, I actually don't even really use it very much for myself, but I do enjoy it occasionally. Yeah. And I do enjoy watching how people respond to that word too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, who was it recently who said that that's why we had to use like ordinary objects like brooms and candlesticks?
Oh, I just heard that recently too.
It was one of our guests, dude.
I don't know.
We'll go back. I'll edit that soon, but it's an interesting idea. It's like, essentially, we are these intermediaries, these channels, these listeners, and our presence it's not power that we own, but we're transmitting power through our little systems, and sometimes they blow our computers up. But anyway, the point is the false power has a problem with that. And so that's how the word witch has been demonized. And I'm just like glad that I could have a little dance with my own bias and kind of unpack it with you. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Just thank you.
Yeah, just thank you.
Just thank you. We're your biggest fans, Zaneta.
Seriously.
Thank you so much. This has just been really cool to talk about things that I don't feel like I always get to talk about, and to have like-hearted community hold that with me is really powerful.
What an honor. Genuinely such an honor. And I can't wait to see you again and see all the beautiful work you produce or whatever. I just want to see and be near you again. That's all. That's all I'll say. But your work will transmit that. Anyway.
Yes.
Thank you, Zaneta.
Oh, thank you so much. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Medium Curious is made possible
by Jane Morgan Editing.
Sarah Rathke made the amazing music.
And you can help Medium Curious by downloading the episodes.
And the dogs under the desk in Utah are Kalea and Domino.
And Trixie in California.